Welcome everyone to another Top 10. I'm Old School Gamer 1971. Millie, Lloyd, everyone, hope you're all having a great day. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please like, comment and share. Check out my channel and subscribe, as it helps the channel grow and puts a big old smile on this old face. Today's Top 10 is Graphical Masterpieces. So this is all about how the game looks. It doesn't always have to have that look of realism. The graphics can be cartoony. Genre is not important, none neither. What is really important is art style. It's the game that turns your head. The games that when the trailer appears, you watch it every damn time. It's the games you put on when trying to impress or to show what is under your PlayStation 4's hood. This generation, like every console generation before it, has brought about a whole other level of excellence. This is most evident in the graphics department. Generation after generation has come ever closer to the holy grail, photorealism. This list will be different almost every single year, apart from the odd game that would carry over. I will also be limiting it to one entry per game franchise, or it would have been all Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and as of next year, Final Fantasy VII. One thing that did change this generation was there was not so many poor playing games, so most of the games on this list play as well as they look. Please leave your list down below in the comments. So without further ado, here is my top 10 for masterpieces that deserve to be in a museum someday, and on my PlayStation 4 in the meantime.
Hit that billboard, you'd be scraping both of them off the pavement. Passengers are Jessica Hamilton. She's just a kid. She's pretty knocked around.
Kid gonna be all right?
I think so. They've taken her to central receiving. If you want to take a look around, you can stall the ambulance.
Thanks. Do that.
One more thing. Watch out for the driver. She cuts rough.
This ain't the red carpet, so get out of my lens.
If you're looking for the coroner, he's
My
down.
number 10, The Last of Us Remastered, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014 and was developed by Naughty Dog. This game deserves to be here. This game world has so many faces. We start off with the normal life, and then people start rioting and fleeing in terror from the outbreak. Then we get the militarized zone, heavily patrolled and segregated into areas heavily built up and armoured. And then we get the world that is nature taking it back. The world looks astounding. This is the world you will spend most of your time in, and the world that will have your jaw dropping at every turn. The infected look amazing and certainly worthy of a mention. The characters look fantastic, but also conveys emotion that transfers to you. This game changed so much about gaming. I would say stories got better after this game released and proved that single player still had life left in it. With the beginning and end being so hard hitting, the world created and characters therein, this game is a masterpiece, and its only threat ever is its own sequel.
What'd I tell you? There's that truck sticking out of the school right there. Come on. There's a bunch of them up there.
Moving on to number 9, Resident Evil 7 came to the PlayStation 4 in 2017 and was developed by Capcom. After the debacle that was Resident Evil 6, this was not just a return to form, but a rebirth for the series, and what it should have always been. It put the word survival back into survival horror. In fact, it put the word horror back in there also. It proved that survival horror could make money and brought about the comeback. Its graphics were outstanding, even more so in VR. The setting being in like a bayou with a hillbilly inbred family out of hell. They are quite disturbing, as you never quite know what they're going to do next. You just know it's going to be violent. And this all with amazing graphics. The house looks in disrepair, some parts are crumbling to dust. The lighting and shadows seem to be harbouring some dark secret. Whether it's the standard game or in VR, the world is one of the best, and if you are showing off to a survival horror nut or a Resident Evil fan, it's the attention to detail that had never been in Resident Evil to this point, and set a new standard for the series. Certainly, I for one cannot wait to see where Resident Evil goes next.
What have I done to deserve this except open my home and feed you? I don't understand you at all.
Number 8, Until Dawn, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2015 and was developed by Supermassive Games. This game was made to look good, and boy does it. It's an adventure survival horror with quick time events. It has the traits from the horror genre, but take a moment to drink in those graphics. They look damn fine. I don't just mean the characters, I mean the background, the lighting, the shadow, they all do their part. The locations are outstanding. The snowy mountaintop, log cabin, mine and asylum. Each time I return to the game it impresses me all over again. The characters look pretty much lifelike. I really can't think of too many games that match this graphically. Certainly not in this genre. Oh, and the death scenes look gruesome and are quite imaginative. But it's the snowy mountain for me that for the longest time was the most impressive snowy mountain. Also, the style in which this was made is so reflective of where its roots lie.
Come on, you grew up here. It probably feels like it's shrinking.
I guess that's true.
When are you gonna install some cell towers up here? I'm getting withdrawals already.
You got a spare million lying around and I'll fix you right up.
Moving on to my number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014 and was developed by Rockstar. This was great on the PlayStation 3 and somehow even better on the PlayStation 4. This looks so damn good. San Andreas has never looked better. With the new areas, because time had passed, it was more built up, with some interesting places for you to explore. It feels and looks like a living, breathing city. The wildlife really takes it to the next level. The detail, even in the desert and wilderness, is fantastic. No stone seems to be left unturned. The vehicles look great to look at, but choose wisely, as otherwise you will miss all that glorious scenery. Get a slower car. The map is so big and varied you will find yourself lost and just drinking the graphics in, with Easter eggs still being discovered to this very day, and so much to do you will never get bored. This is a massive open world, and to be honest, I still think it is unparalleled and certainly one of the best looking games on PlayStation 4 for some now 5 years after release.
He ain't gonna make a fool of me again. The fuck is he doing? Hey, get out the way! Motherfucker! Fuck, man, I think we lost his ass. He lives somewhere up in the canyon. You'll find him.
Moving on to number 6, Shadow of the Colossus, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Bluepoint. This just looks so good, considering where it came from, a PlayStation 2 game that pushed the boundaries at the time, and whilst this didn't push the boundaries this time round, man does this game look good, right from the opening cutscene to you playing and beyond. This is just jaw-dropping. When the moon casts its light through the trees, you can't help but be impressed. The world does look amazing, as does your horse. Its movement is rather good also, but it's those colossi. They sometimes tower over you and fill the entire screen, if not more than the entire screen. This game is like boss after boss after boss. Finding those weak points means clambering over them with the background flashing by. There is nothing else out there like this, and happily this has kept all the charm of the original. As we head into realism, it's good every now and again to see something set in a fantasy world, and this sure as hell is. And whilst some may argue that realism matters, I say hell no, and this game proves it. They need to remaster Ico, and then I, for one, will be very happy. Number 5, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by Naughty Dog. And so we move on to what is supposed to be Nathan Drake's last outing. I don't think so. I think next time you'll play his daughter and Nathan Drake will become the new Sully. If it is, however, what a swan song this is. This series has always been about graphics and action set pieces. I will point out that that is not really a bad thing. In fact, in my experience, it's actually an amazing thing. These games out Tomb Raider. In fact, the new Tomb Raider series borrows from Uncharted. They've always felt like Indiana Jones. But today, it's the graphics. And man, do these games look good. Starting life as a tech demo for the PlayStation 3, these games have gone from strength to strength. However, each entry has just looked better and better, with bigger and bigger set pieces. As you can see, it looks amazing, and every game they set a new standard. Many companies are playing catch up. Just look and see what we get with The Last of Us Part 2. The world just looks damn fine, the characters look real, and those set pieces, whether it's a sinking ship, a crashing plane, or a train hanging over the side of a mountain, it all just looks amazing. And more than that, it plays as well as it looks.
Here we go.
My number 4, Horizon Zero Dawn, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2017 and was developed by Guerrilla Games. This was a surefire winner, and I was unsure why it had never happened before. I mean, come on, robot dinosaurs. That is pretty much a license to print money. So we had Guerrilla Games, the developers of the Killzone series, and whilst I like their games, they weren't my favourite. When it was announced that they was working on something new, I don't think anyone had any idea about this. And then they showed the game off at E3. I don't think any of us could believe what we were seeing, and felt it would look and play well, but maybe a step down in graphics or the game would not be that big. Man, was we wrong. The world is a big and beautiful open world. The graphics were not stepped down. In fact, I would argue at release they look better. It is supposed to be after mankind had stopped using technology and nature had taken the world back. This again is just one amazing world and nothing else quite out there like it. The clothing, weapons, machinery and characters are all just amazing. If you have never played this, you owe it to yourself to do so. And yes, the sequel is in development for the PlayStation 5, so be prepared for your jaw to hit the floor next year when that first trailer drops. Number 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Ubisoft. Ubisoft has seemed to have fallen out of favour with gamers in the last couple of years. I get they've made some missteps and maybe went down a wrong path or two, but I've enjoyed their games. Whether it's the Far Cry games, Watch Dogs or Assassin's Creed, I've had hours of fun with them all, Far Cry especially. But then this came out and wow, that time off between Syndicate and Origins really improved the game, but nothing prepared us quite for this game. It looks outstanding. The world, I don't think there's anything else out there quite like this. The attention to detail in this game is astonishing, and just when you think you have seen it all, it steps up its game. The water looks beyond belief. Swim in it, and if you can avoid the sharks, you can find some jaw-dropping areas. But it is the same on land. The detail to it all means no two areas look the same on a massive map. The characters, buildings, ships, weapons and armour are all top notch and make this quite an impressive play. This is definitely one to put on to impress, and I cannot wait to see what comes next, and here's to hoping that rumours of the Viking game are true. My penultimate entry, God of War, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Santa Monica. Not since the days of Phantasm as the word boy meant so much. This was a big risk for Sony, to take a successful series and turn it on its head. Not only just that, but to somehow make it more than what came before. Arguably, this game is better with more in-depth combat, a stronger story, and most importantly for this list, some of the best looking graphics on a game, period. The world here looks astonishing, and only thing stopping this from being number one is it's not open world, and number one is. Honestly, the last couple of years have been mind blowing, with the likes of Spider-Man, A Plague's Tale, Days Gone, Resident Evil 2 Remake and the upcoming Death Stranding and Star Wars Fallen Order, as Last of Us Part 2 has slipped well into next year. The next time I make this list, it will be even harder, and yet I know that this game is safe. As when the game loaded and I was playing it again, all this game's greatness and beauty was there for all to see. I cannot express enough how much of a technical achievement this game is and how jaw-dropping it is to play it. And then you look at someone else playing it or your own playback and realise how damn good this game looks. It's knowing that a sequel will hit the PlayStation 5, and then and only then will this game be removed from the Masterpiece Top 10.
Close your heart to their desperation. Close your heart to their suffering. Do not allow yourself to feel for them. They will not feel for you.
I understand. Has this been here all this time? Why don't you help me up there? I can get a better look.
And my number one, Red Dead Redemption 2, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Rockstar. I waited for the very last entry before I revealed something. Something I like to do in every game with a day-night cycle. I have to take a day to see a sunrise and a sunset. In today's day and age, they look outstanding and certainly well worth the wait. Rockstar games have always been amongst the best, and this is never more evident than in Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar has set the standard for open world games for years. Since GTA 4, they've been showing a higher standard of graphics. This is their latest game, and man does this world look impressive. With the weather effects, character models, water effects and wildlife all with the same excellent standard. Every time with Rockstar, you always think that they can do no better or that the last game cannot be topped. And then along comes GTA 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2. With the word round the campfire of it being either Bully 2 or GTA 6 as their next main title, I can only say I cannot wait to see what comes next from this great developer, and that it will most definitely will top this list one day. I look forward to this game from its announcement and knew that it would be something special, and that pretty much sums up Rockstar as a developer.
Nice and easy.
And it's done. Hope you all enjoyed this top 10. There is plenty more content like this on my channel. Check it out, and if you would, spread the word. Enjoy your day one and all. Old School Gamer 1971, signing off.